China is quietly rolling out a new sailless nuclear submarine concept that some analysts believe is designed to challenge the technological edge of Trump's Navy beneath the waves, forcing the U.S. to rethink how it tracks and counters Chinese boats in contested seas. Beijing's stealthiest undersea hunter has been spotted from space, with satellite imagery revealing a long, sleek hull, minimal superstructure, and design cues that suggest China is prioritizing reduced drag, lower acoustic signatures, and harder-to-detect patrols in the Pacific's choke points and deep water. Built to be faster, quieter, and far harder to track than previous generations, this radical undersea gamble signals that China is ready to experiment with unconventional designs to slip past U.S. and allied sensor networks, probe their defenses, and potentially target critical seabed infrastructure. If this hidden sea monster enters regular patrols before a full-scale Taiwan war erupts, it could complicate U.S. and allied planning by adding a new, less predictable threat vector, one that might stalk carriers, shadow logistics routes, or sit in ambush along the first island chain and beyond. All of this raises a sharper question. Is Beijing now building what it hopes will be the ultimate submarine for hunting U.S. warships, a next-generation predator meant to tilt the undersea balance in China's favor just as surface and air tensions peak over Taiwan and the wider Indo Pacific? Satellite images have revealed a new Chinese nuclear attack submarine under construction at Jiangnan Shipyard, highlighting a major undersea upgrade just as Beijing accelerates its broader naval expansion. The vessel features an extremely low-profile sail compared with older designs, signaling a deliberate shift toward a sleeker silhouette that presents less structure above the main hull. This radically minimized sail is aimed at reducing drag, flow noise, and the chances of detection underwater, allowing the submarine to move more efficiently and quietly through the water while creating a smaller acoustic and radar signature for adversaries to track. By almost eliminating the traditional conning tower, the design trades some handling ease and topside ergonomics for improved stealth and hydrodynamics, prioritizing survivability and covert approach over classic above-water visibility and command space. Subsequent, clearer imagery showed that the boat in fact carries a very low sail rather than being truly sailless, indicating that China is experimenting with an intermediate configuration that preserves essential sensors and masts while still cutting its profile dramatically. Details of this discovery were reported on July 23 by the defense news outlet Defense Security Asia, which framed the submarine as a potential harbinger of how future Chinese attack boats will seek to outpace and outhide U.S. and allied undersea forces. The submarine is estimated to be about 120 meters long with a beam of roughly 10 to 11 meters, placing it among the larger attack boat hulls in China's fleet and signaling significant internal volume for reactors, weapons, and sensors. Analysts note that this size exceeds the dimensions of the Type 093 Shang class and brings it into the same general hull length category as U.S. Virginia-class submarines, suggesting Beijing is pursuing a comparable blue-water, long-endurance attack role. These dimensions firmly place the craft in nuclear attack submarine territory, according to expert assessments, because the overall length, displacement envelope, and beam align with known nuclear-powered fast attack designs rather than smaller coastal boats. Specialists also argue that the vessel is far too large to be a diesel-electric submarine and too narrow to house the massive missile compartment needed for a modern ballistic missile SSBM, reinforcing the view that this is a purpose-built nuclear attack boat rather than a strategic missile carrier. The submarine was reportedly built at Jiangnan Shipyard, a yard better known for turning out aircraft carriers and large surface warships, which makes this nuclear hull a clear sign that Beijing is expanding what that facility can do. This development marks a significant extension of China's undersea industrial base beyond its long-established nuclear center at Huludao, giving the Navy more than one major yard capable of building nuclear-powered submarines. Earlier in 2026, a Type 095 nuclear-powered attack submarine was sighted at the Bohai/Huludao shipyard, showing that advanced next-generation designs are still flowing out of China's traditional submarine cradle. Taken together, these boats indicate that China now operates parallel nuclear production lines, allowing it to push multiple classes or iterations of attack submarines through the pipeline at the same time. For the United States and its allies, the presence of two nuclear-capable shipyards means China can expand its submarine fleet faster and more broadly, shrinking warning timelines and complicating long-term undersea force planning. China is also now producing quieter, faster nuclear submarines at more than 1 yard, marrying industrial scale with generational improvements in stealth, propulsion, and noise reduction. The new boat appears to sport X-form stern rudders and likely employs a pumpjet propulsor, a combination associated with enhanced maneuverability and lower acoustic signatures on modern nuclear attack submarines. Its streamlined bow and low-drag hull profile favor quiet high-speed transit, enabling the submarine to cover long distances stealthily while reducing the hydrodynamic noise that adversary sonar systems rely on. This kind of design is particularly well suited to slipping through choke points like the Bashi Channel and the Miyako Strait, where concentrated anti-submarine patrols and sensors make signatures and transit speed crucial. No official name, displacement figures, or detailed weapons data have yet been released by Beijing, leaving outside observers to reconstruct its role and capabilities from satellite imagery, measurements, and design cues. Even so, many analysts assess that China is on a trajectory toward fielding roughly 70 to 80 submarines by the 2030s, with the proportion of nuclear-powered boats in that total rising as new SSNs and SSBNs enter service. The nuclear share of China's fleet is expected to grow over time as older diesel-electric hulls are retired or shifted to secondary roles and new nuclear designs roll off the lines at both Huludao and Jiangnan. For Western navies, this emerging submarine is both a technological leap in Chinese undersea design and an industrial warning that the country's nuclear building capacity is broader, more resilient, and more ambitious than it was a decade ago. China is accelerating its naval modernization drive, raising fresh questions about America's long-standing dominance at sea. The People's Liberation Army Navy has crossed a major milestone, with more than 45 of its newest destroyers now operational. The achievement was marked by the entry into service of the Type 052D destroyer Tongchuan. Chinese shipyards continue to work at full pace, with 14 more advanced destroyers already being built. If current construction plans stay on track, China's modern destroyer fleet could reach nearly 60 vessels. The Type 055 acts as China's premier surface combatant, while the Type 052D provides the core strength of the fleet. These warships are designed to carry diverse missile arsenals, giving China greater flexibility in both offensive and defensive operations. With new warships entering the fleet, China is on track to operate nearly 60 modern destroyers in the years ahead. When older classes are included, Beijing's destroyer force could grow to an impressive 76 vessels. Such numbers would bring China remarkably close to matching the United States in one of the most important naval categories. China's shipbuilding industry continues to expand at a pace unmatched by most of its global competitors. Meanwhile, American shipyards have struggled with delays and production challenges that have slowed fleet expansion. Analysts say the growing fleet reflects Beijing's determination to extend its military reach well beyond the Western Pacific. Philippines launched its third Tarlac-class landing platform dock amid continuing security tensions and military modernization efforts in the South China Sea. Point. PAL Indonesia has formally launched the vessel that will enter service with the Philippine Navy as BRP Ilocos Norte. Philippine Navy Chief Jose Maria Ambrosio Quayachan described the new ship as a major enhancement to the Navy's amphibious and sea-lift capabilities. The improved design incorporates lessons from earlier vessels, featuring a larger vehicle deck and more efficient logistics handling to support military and humanitarian missions. Class: Enhanced Tarlac-class landing platform dock designed for amphibious warfare and strategic sea-lift missions. Builder: constructed by PT PAL Indonesia for the Philippine Navy under a bilateral defense cooperation program. Length: measures 124 meters, providing ample space for troops, vehicles, helicopters, and support equipment. Displacement: approximately 7,200 tons at full load, allowing it to carry substantial personnel and cargo. Sun operational range of about 9,360 nautical miles, enabling extended deployments without frequent refueling. Endurance: can remain at sea for up to 30 days, supporting long-duration military and humanitarian operations. Capable of reaching speeds of up to 16 knots during transit and operational deployments. PT PAL said global supply chain disruptions and procurement challenges delayed the construction timeline of the ship and pushed back its planned delivery schedule. With the launch now complete, BRP Ilocos Norte will move into the outfitting phase before undergoing harbor acceptance trials and sea trials ahead of its planned delivery to the Philippine Navy. Primary missions: conducts amphibious assault operations and transports troops, vehicles and military equipment. Strategic role: provides strategic sea lift capability and logistic support for sustained military deployments. Secondary mission: supports humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations during natural disasters and emergencies. Operational capability: enables rapid reinforcement and resupply of remote islands and forward-deployed forces. Well deck: equipped with a well deck to launch and recover landing craft for amphibious operations. Features a full flight deck and hangar capable of operating medium-sized helicopters. Its sister ship, BRP Leyte, is also under construction and will further expand the Philippine Navy's growing amphibious warfare and sea lift capability. Together, the two vessels are expected to significantly improve Manila's ability to transport troops, equipment and supplies across remote islands and contested maritime areas during both military and humanitarian operations. The program also highlights the deepening defense-industrial partnership between the Philippines and Indonesia as both countries continue expanding regional defense cooperation.